Now, over the past week, the Prime Minister has been under further scrutiny over the true cost of the war on terror. More than 150,000 British men and women have served in Iraq and Afghanistan over the past 8 years. 210 of them have been killed in battle.
Well, of the soldiers who've survived, it's been reported a staggering 80% have returned to Britain with post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, Danny Macaneaney served in the army for more than 20 years, but after a 6-month stint in Iraq, Danny returned home severely depressed and with paranoia.
Danny's here with his partner Jules and ex-SAS man Bob Paxman is here as well. And Bob, why you're a controversial figure in the news recently is that you've broken the so-called vow of silence to talk about life after the forces. Why have you done that?
I've done that so that we can actually bring the plight of the guys that are suffering, guys and ladies that are suffering, ex-service personnel, to the nation, and actually starts to make a change to do something about that.
What would you say to people who would say to you, that's a very weak thing to do, or maybe even it's a betrayal?
I think actually it's a stronger thing to do, is to step across the line and actually admit that you've got a problem, than it is to sit there and sit in the biggest river in Egypt, denial.
Has that been hard for you, Danny? You're sitting here today and you have admitted that it's been a problem for you. Was that hard to accept for yourself and then to admit to the world that that was happening to you?
Yeah, I used to have quite a private life where no one would really know anything about me. And there's a lot of stigma in the army with mental issues, like a basket case. You'd be called, like the hospital in Germany where I ended up. That was like the basket weaving centre as known like by.
I suppose that it's a kind of, you're considered maybe to be weak, that you can't cope, and
yeah, you think you're weak yourself.
Yeah.
How long did it take for that to come about, Danny? Was this a gradual thing, or was there one specific incident? Was there something you saw?
So, I think that what it was down to was getting mortar attacked and rocket attacked while I was in my base, not being able to do anything. And when I come home, I went out there dead happy, I suppose, and come back a different person. Like, where I couldn't see it in myself, there's other people around me. And then by the time I went to go and ask for help, I just went along the chain, like, till the end I was diagnosed with PTSD. Well, I'd already got into trouble by then, like.
Got into trouble what way?
I had a firearm I used to kept in my home to protect my wife and family.
But this is a firearm that you, obviously it's highly illegal for you to do that, so you took that home.
That was just your paranoia.
When you were on leave.
Yeah, I just thought something. I was living in Germany, in Married quarters, when I come back from Iraq, and I just thought something was going to happen to me. It's every day I felt like that, and still feel like that now. It's like I'm anxious and just waiting for something to happen, and I thought I'll meet the threat. They're not going to get me, you know what I mean? Or if they do, I'll go down fighting. But
you were found, or somebody told somebody that you had this gun, and that got you into an awful lot of trouble. Did that kind of set you on the road to recovery, that was like a wake-up call, like, what am I doing? I've taken a gun home, I'm hiding it under my pillow, and that made you realise you needed help? Well,
I was getting help and that, and it didn't seem to be getting any answers that I wanted, like, and it seemed to be getting worse, like. So, and in the end I got diagnosed with it, and I felt a bit better, I suppose. I don't know, when you're told you've got something, you can put some, you can say, yeah, I understand a bit now, and like, when you find out something, try and find out a bit more about it, don't you?
Do you think there are more soldiers than we know about who are suffering like you did?
Definitely, every soldier, I think, everyone in the forces, everyone in any normal life. But like, I think the forces, everyone is going through a bit more danger than most people, aren't you?
Yeah, but Bob, it isn't normal life in the forces. When you sign up, is this not what you expect? Are you not warned about this?
You are to a certain extent, yes, but it's a case of when you leave the military, it's the transition back to being a civilian. There isn't actually a course at this point in time that basically unwires the way that you've been wired. You've been taught to be aggressive, you've been taught to manage your adrenaline going into a situation. Well, as soon as you're out of the forces, you've then got that lack of opportunity to manage adrenaline. So you're literally going around trying to find incidents where you can get involved in something.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And Jules, from your point of view, we've heard Danny's situation, how badly it's affected him. You've got to live with the consequences. What's it like as someone's partner in this situation? What do you have to live with?
Basically, because Dan's been hyper-vigilant in his job, because he was sergeant, tank commander, of a platoon of soldiers, always had to be vigilant, always getting mortared, always under that pressure all the time. He's come home and into prison because he was court-martialed, so he's never had a chance to be amongst soldiers, to be amongst his friends, as he's come out to unwire, as Bob just said. He's put into prison, who did not understand. He had absolutely no treatment in prison. So he's come home from prison then to me, in the same state, hyper-vigilant, paranoid, extremely careful about every situation. It's like there's a clip on the on dispatches tonight that shows us shopping. We don't shop, we go and get what we need and get out. Dan always knows the exits before he knows the entrance, he knows how to get out before he gets in. He's just wants to be super safe.